With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
What it is, what it do, cyber world. It's your girl, the one and only Ash Brown. And this is Ash Brown Uncensored. On this program, I talk a little bit about everything. It may be pop culture related, but it's probably Ash Brown related. So you got to stay tuned to see what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so I got a question online, which I thought was really cool, really cute. And person asked me, well, why do you go to conventions, Ash? Like, why do you go to these anime conventions? Why are you always posting about these events come summertime, right? And a lot of it was really when I was looking of posting content for my blog. When I initially started the blog, I didn't have much to talk about. I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. And so opening the door of going to these events, be it like free events that my friends or whoever was putting on, and being able to highlight those events with photography, media, my perspective on things, what was late, what was on time, whatever. I think that it really opened me up to going to these events. Now, shout out to Rochi-san. She is the queen of the Blurred Bites. Let me get the name right. The Blurred Bites. That's my baby sister. And I wouldn't be going to conventions if it wasn't for her, quite honestly. I probably would have never found myself going to a convention had I not had to really go with her early on. So she was really the exposure that I got to anime, the culture, manga, cartoons, comics, all these things. And so through that, I saw the opportunity to be exposed to even more stuff. And even this past MomoCon, I love going to conventions because I always learn about things that I never would have known otherwise. And I get exposed to a lot of things that are interesting and fascinating that I had no idea about, right? I had no idea whatsoever. And so there were several vendors that I met this year that I've connected to, and you guys are going to hear about really soon. So to stay tuned, we got some good episodes coming up. But a brand that I connected with was When You're Media, they have all kind of interviews set up for the whole day. There's a whole list. You never know who is going to be on the list. A lot of the stuff is added last minute, and you just kind of go and you're going to make an experience out of whatever you can. That's really what it comes down to being about. And so it just so happened one of the last interviews that I was going to be able to take was Black Lion and Cubs. I had no idea. That's literally all it said on the marquee was Black Lion and Cubs at this particular time. I had absolutely no idea what Black Lion and Cubs was. And it intrigued me. So I did my research, of course. Time was a ticking away. So I did my research and I looked them up and I was like, oh, wow, this is like a black anime. But it's more than just a comic. It's a whole movement. This is about representation. I am onto this. I love the fact that representation is happening. When I was a kid, my favorite cartoons was very much female-centered. My favorite cartoons were Punky Brewster, Rainbow Bright, Gem and the Holograms. Those are female-centered cartoons, which female empowerment we love, we gotta have. It makes a big deal. And I think that those are really big statements for those time periods in the 80s. But I also remember connecting a lot with the black characters because they look like me. They look like me. Even Strawberry Shortcake had a little black friend. I forgot what her name was. I apologize. But I remember Punky Brewster, Cherry. Cherry was her best friend. And in Rainbow Bright, I think the little girl, I think her name was like Violet or something. And I remember my mom had gotten me a plushie of hers. And she had the black hair, but it had like purple. She had, violet, streams in there mixed in with the black. And with Jem and the Holograms, I want to say her name was Shauna or Shayna. And she also had purple hair. I don't know. I guess they just associated, all these characters always had purple hair, but whatever. So as much as I love Jem and I love the story behind Jem and the woman's empowerment behind it, as we're promoting women being on the forefront, women being able to do for themselves, it was having those black characters, having those black accompanying members of the ensemble that a little brown girl like me could identify with, because Jem is white. I love Jem. I love what Jem was doing. I appreciated all of the messaging of Jem, and I didn't love Jem any less, but I connected with the black characters more because they looked like me. It's as simple as that. So when I discovered how Black Lion and Cubs was this story of this family and, they're black centered, and I'm like, wow, this is so powerful. I don't even understand how people cannot understand how this is so powerful to have this message resounding of children being able to see themselves in these cartoons, in these comics, in these movies. It is a huge, huge thing. As we're dealing with all the negativities of the world today, we need little brown kids to know that they are appreciated. We need them to see themselves in these stories. And that's what Black Lion and Cubs does. So I am so thankful, because I kind of was considering skipping MomoCon this year, and I'm so glad that I didn't. I'm so glad that I didn't, because I would have missed out on so many great entrepreneurs, so many great stories. And like I said, Black Lion and Cubs, I'm all on board for that. We need more representation. We need more positivity. We need these stories, because kids, I don't know, kids need to see themselves in these stories so that it can continue to be something that they want to continue. When everything is, dead and gone away, these stories are going to be there. And we want these future generations to have a sense of pride. We want them to look at these stories and be proud. All right? And so Black Lion and Cubs represent so much more than just to say oh, it's a cartoon, it's got some brown kids in it, whatever. No, it's so much more, because this has not happened. It hasn't happened like this before. So I'm super excited to have Hotep on my show. We're going to talk all about the making of it, how things came to be. And I definitely want this to be an outpouring of love for you guys, for this movement, for everything that this story, this media is going to be. I definitely want more and more people to connect with it and be intrigued with it. So that's the story. And yeah, I go to conventions because I get to meet amazing people that are doing groundbreaking, phenomenal things that I never would have known otherwise. Because had I skipped MomoCon this year, I would have missed this. I would have completely missed the mark. So that just goes to show how much of a difference it really truly makes. But yeah. And let me know, do you guys go to conventions? Are you into the con life? Are you doing conventions? And Are you enjoying it? Are you not enjoying it? Have you never been? What convention do you want to go to next? I want to hear from you guys, all right? But have a great, phenomenal, fantabulous, and fruitful week ahead. And I will holler at y'all later. Deuces.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.